Welcome to EdTech Tuesday. I'm Jennifer Gibson.
And I'm Rich Dixon.
Okay, Rich, I'm excited to learn more about this product. It's called Kahoot. Why don't you tell us a little more?
All right, Kahoot is a great free resource if you want to create quizzes, discussions, or polls in your classroom to get the kind of feedback out of them that you might not if you were just trying to simply lead a group discussion, especially for those kids that are a little bit shy and they don't normally verbally want to volunteer to share.
So I see we have a couple devices here. Is that telling me I can use it on any kind of device?
Number of different devices. As long as you're connected to the internet and you have a web browser, you're good to go with this free resource. To get started, visit kahoot.com. And when you land there, you're going to see an opportunity to create a free account, or in our situation, we're going to go ahead and sign in. After you log in, you're going to see the dashboard here, and there's a number of different options. First, along the top are a list of different response questions that you have created before. Those are called My Kahoots. We don't have any yet.
So Kahoots stand for questions?
Exactly. Opportunities to either create a quiz here, a discussion, or a survey. And so we can create those for our students, and we're going to go ahead and start by creating a quiz. And in this case, I'm going to pretend that I'm teaching on the book The Giver. And I want to do a little vocabulary quiz for the students.
Wonderful.
So we can go ahead and click Quiz. We can give it a name. And then click Go. And then I can begin to input my question here and any other materials. I've actually kind of snuck ahead. All right, you can see the quiz that I've started here. I have a word from chapter 3, and then I also have an image that illustrates it. And then down below, I have different response options.
So the image you were able just to gather from a site and then drag and drop it, that's really easy.
Yeah, it's very easy to create. You have to have at least a minimum of 2 response options and no more than 4.
Oh, okay.
When you're done, you can click on Save and Continue, and you can continue to build up the different types of responses that you would like here. So one of the things I like most about Kahoots is that there's a number of pre-created, already created quizzes that you can use with your students.
And that's really helpful because teachers are busy, and so if things are already pre-created, wow, how about that?
And I have searched for the word Explorers. If I have a quiz that I want to give my students on Explorers, I can do that. I can see here how many questions are listed, who's created it, and I can also click on that name to see other things that have been created by the same person. And before you go any further,
I see that you can play, you can favorite, or you can share them. So that is super because I'm imagining favorite means that I get to save it somewhere to come back to later.
Like a little playlist.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into this one. Early Explorers. I'm going to go ahead and click on play. I see it has 10 questions. And this would be what I see as a teacher. Now, your students could interact with this in a couple different ways. One, if you have a bring your own device policy where they have a phone or a tablet or even their own computer that they've brought, you can have them interact with you, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Or if you have a one-to-one program, of course, or some combination like 2-to-1 or something like that, a device.
A small group.
Now let's just pretend though you don't have any of those options, but you do have a projector or an Apple TV or another way to share your screen with your entire class all at once by a projection system. Well, you could easily have them follow along even if they don't have their own device by having a recorder write down what they have chosen as a response, and then they can verbally share that. Before you can begin though, just a couple things to note is that there is music that can be played automatically by default before you start each quiz. I recommend turning that off unless you want a lot of noise in your classroom. Next, click Launch. And when you do that, it's going to take a second, and then it's going to create what's called a game pin. And you can see this series of numbers. There's 5 here. And students at this point are going to visit Kahoot.it. And what's great though is that they don't need an account. They don't create an account at all.
Oh, nice.
So let's take a look and see what this looks like. So
would you like me to enter the pin in?
Yes. So let's say you're a student. Go ahead and enter the pin number, which again is 24710 in this case. It'll take a second to connect. And what you're doing now is she's creating a name for herself. And this is really important because
I'm joining now.
Excellent. She can write her first name down. We don't recommend entering first and last name, although this information isn't being shared elsewhere, just to protect student privacy. Exactly, or initials. And then for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Start Now. I can see on the screen that you've joined. And so again, this is a quiz that's already been created called Early Explorers 2. And then here's the first question. Which explorer was publicly beheaded? And then it's going to give me a number of different options.
Yeah.
Did you notice that there was a short time before we had to respond? And the same thing here. The person that created this has put a 30-second limit on this particular question. So we better answer quickly. Which explorer was publicly beheaded? We're down to 9 seconds. Then we have these different options here. And you, on yours, need to select what you think the answer is.
Wow,
Go ahead and
that's
select one
interesting.
quickly.
I'm going to go with Balboa.
Okay, excellent.
It said I was wrong.
It gives you feedback right
And it says
away.
now I'm in first position.
Because you're the only person. Now, if you
That
had
makes it
more-
useful.
Yes,
I
exactly.
can win and lose at the same
Now,
time.
I see on my scoreboard Jen's score. So I'm
right.
going to click on next, and we're going to go to the
Oh,
next
I'm ready.
question.
I'm ready. Okay.
Pops up on your screen
Now,
automatically.
on my screen, you can see that I don't see the actual question. I only see the shapes for the answer.
Exactly.
So I'm going to have to, somewhere this would have to be projected for me to see because I can't see the question on here. Okay.
Correct. So in this case, he became the first to sail from the Atlantic to the Pacific and cross the Pacific.
Okay.
Magellan.
Wrong. Magellan.
Jen, don't worry. You and I, after this, when we're done
Did we
here,
study?
we're going to study and go
Okay,
back on
I
those
need to
explorers.
study.
It's okay. But what's great is when we take a look at Kahoot, when we're done, you can take and you can download the quiz scores, and the quiz scores also get downloaded as an actual spreadsheet. And so what's nice about that is you'll get the list of the student name, the questions, and whether or not they got those questions right or wrong. So it's really,
And so that's in an Excel spreadsheet.
that's right.
Great. That'd make it very useful.
Go ahead and try Kahoot today and let us know what you think.